97.3 Citi FM. Hello, you're welcome to this edition of Citi Prime News, broadcasting live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, here in Accra. I am Charles Ozukumi. Coming up over the next 30 minutes, President Mahama announces education fund for children of the victims of last week's helicopter crash.
And at the funeral, we will announce some program for creating a fund that will assist with the education of their children.
Meanwhile, third-day funeral rites of Dr. Murtala Muhammad and Alhaji Muhammad Limuna held in Tamale and Accra. We'll bring you updates from these venues. Also coming up on the Citi Prime News, NDC confirms participation in September 2 Akwatia by-election and warns against complacency ahead of the election. Still ahead, we'll tell you the life-changing story of some children who received help from the Royal Daisy School after Akosombo Dam spillage 2 years ago. All these and more coming up on the Citi Prime News, which is live in the Western region on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrade. We're also live in the Bono region on Greener FM 95.9 FM in Sunyai. In the Ashanti region, we're on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. We're also on Orange 107.59 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful to you for your time this afternoon. Let's get into the details of our stories. And thousands of Ghanaians have gathered at the family home of the late Member of Parliament for Tamale Central and Minister for Environment, Murtala Muhammad, for the final funeral rites of the late Member of Parliament. His unfortunate demise follows a recent helicopter crash in the Ashanti region last week. Our Northern Regional Correspondent, Shawana Yusuf, joins us live from the funeral ground. Good afternoon to you, Shawana. Grateful to you for joining us. Tell us what's happening at the family home of Murtala Muhammad.
Thank you very much. So today, which happens to be the final funeral rites of the late MP for Tamale Central and also Minister for the Environment, we have. I'll be right to say that the whole of Tamale have gathered here at the family home of the late MP and Minister to also participate in the final funeral rites of the late MP. We also had some dignitaries who were in attendance. The Regional Minister Ali Adolf was in attendance. We had Minister for Education and MP Tamale South Haruna Idrisu, Minister for Lands Ama Kofibu was also in attendance. Minister for the Interior Muntaka Mubarak was also there. Muntaka was there. Mohammed was also in attendance. Chairman NDC Asedun Ketia was also there. The MP for Kushegu and MP for Karaga. That's Amin Anta, and then also Al Hassan Tampuli were also in attendance. The MP Tamale North and also Deputy Roads Minister Al Hassan Sugili was in attendance. We also have other regional ministers from other regions within northern Ghana who also made time to be part of this particular final funeral rites. And of course, we had a lot of clergy. The imams were also in attendance in fair numbers, most especially from the sect that the MP belongs to. That's the Ambariya Muslim mission. A lot of them were here to give the sermon and also to say a final prayer for the bereaved. They also preached on the fact that some of the attributes that makes a good Muslim. And for them, when they take all the boxes, the late MP actually was able to live as a good Muslim during his lifetime in this world. And they are so certain that with the life that he lived, they are sure that his final place is going to be in heaven. And meanwhile, they prayed for a gentle repose of his soul. So, I mean, here at the family home, though the sermon ended some 5 minutes ago, there are people still around trying to spend some time with the immediate family of the late MP and Minister. And a lot of donations also came through. We also had members from the Minority Caucus of Parliament in attendance. Other members of Parliament also attended all the way from Accra just to bid their farewell to the late Member of Parliament. So here in Tamale, it is a great day for us as we mark the final funeral rites of the late MP and Minister for the Environment.
Grateful to you, Shawana Yusuf, our Northern Regional Correspondent. There's another Adua happening here in Accra for the late Alhaji Mohammed Limuna. We'll be speaking to our reporter who is covering that Adua shortly. But before that, President John Dramani Mahama has announced the creation of a fund to support the children of the 8 Ghanaians who perished in the August 6 helicopter crash. Now speaking at the third-day funeral rites of the late Deputy National Security Coordinator Alhaji Mohammed Muniru Limuna, President Mahama stressed the need to ensure that the primary dependents of the deceased persons do not reel under the impact of their demise. The fund, according to the President, will be launched at the state funeral for the departed 8 slated for Friday, August 15.
What we have to take up to make sure that the absence of the parents does not adversely affect the innocent children. We'll do a state funeral on Friday the 15th for all of them. And at the funeral, we will announce some program for creating a fund that will assist with the education of their children. And so on Friday, I'll announce the details of that so that persons who want to contribute for the future of the children they've left behind would have the opportunity to do so.
That was President of the Republic, President John Dramani Mahama. I mentioned that my colleague Fauzu is at the funeral grounds for the late Alhaji Muniru Mohammed. He is currently engaging Chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee, James Sagaga. Let's listen to that conversation.
Alhaji Muniru and the others who fell with him are resting in the bosom of our Lord. I extend my condolence, deepest condolence to the family of Alhaji Muniru and the rest.
Are you able to recollect briefly your last moments with Alhaji Muniru?
Look, I knew Alhaji Muniru very, very well. Remember, one time he served as regional minister in the Upper East region. And for me, we had a personal relationship because he and my elder brother were mates in school. So when they posted him to serve as regional minister in the Upper East, I mean, he invited me and told me that, Aga, I'm in your region. My success is your success. My failure is your failure because I'm your elder brother. So whatever you have to do to ensure that I succeed, I'll be looking up to you. So we worked very, very, very closely. Anytime he wanted to understand certain things about the Upper East region, because he was new at the time, he would send for me. And anytime I also travel from Accra to the region, I mean, the residency where he used to live was my first point of call before I would now travel to my constituency. That is how special our relationship was. And subsequently, they transferred him to Tamale, back to Accra as the Minister for Agric. I was also in government at the time as Deputy Minister of the Interior. So we had a very close relationship. It's so sad. I was still looking for an opportunity to visit Alhaji and congratulate him on his appointment as Deputy National Security Coordinator. Because you know by now that after his appointment, it was just barely 2 weeks when this unfortunate tragic incident occurred. So that is my pain. I didn't have the opportunity to meet him one-on-one and congratulate him. And so when I heard that Alhaji Muniru passed on when that helicopter crashed, I just couldn't believe it.
Definitely.
Yes. It was like a dagger had been run through my heart. So I would just say the whole Ghana has lost, but most importantly, his family needs God's grace to be able to overcome this tragic incident. All of us are heartbroken. but my heart goes to them. We continue to pray with them.
You heard Member of Parliament for Bulsats North and the chairman of the Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Interior, James Gaga, engaging my colleague Fauzi Masodu at the Adua grounds for the Al-Hadi Mohammed Limuna. In some other news, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa says the late Defence Minister Dr. Edward Omani-Boamah was committed to tackling illegal mining, noting that he had the full backing of President John Mahama to deploy the military against Galamsey's operators. Speaking on the point of view yesterday, Jim Ablakwa said the nation lost a visionary leader who could have significantly transformed Ghana's fight against the illegal mining menace.
We have really lost people who had so much prospect, could have really changed the destiny of our country, could have transformed this nation. Look, I had no doubt that Dr. Omani-Boamah will have solved this Galamsey crisis, because he told me that, look, the military will be deployed, I'm deploying them, I'm getting calls, sometimes he'll show you who is calling, and you can be national executive, regional executive, I'm not minding you. I am not going to
he was that firm,
engage in,
very clear
in any pretense. What we do in private is different from what we attend the public. No, we have fight. These troops are in harm's way, risking their lives, and then you want us to cut political deals.
No,
I won't be part of that. And he told President Mahama clearly, and President Mahama said, look, you have my full blessings, go all out, go ahead. So that's why people like that are not always loved.
Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa further outlined what the direction of the country should be in honoring Dr. Edward Omani-Boamah and the other victims of Wednesday's helicopter crash.
I believe that Omani would want us to kill Galamsey before Galamsey kills all of us. They perish because of Galamsey. Let's start from there. Let's have a genuine commitment. Too many of our leaders and political actors and chiefs and security officials are playing hanky-panky, let's face it, and end it once and for all. Number two, Omani-Boamah would want us to organize around empirical politics, scientific politics. He's not the choboy,
not
sentimental emotions, just screaming without research, without, real solutions, building structures, building institutions. So let's give him that as a legacy. Let's go for scientific politics, the politics of ideas, the politics of intellect, solutions to our problems. Number three, Omani-Boamah will want us to organize around lifting people up.
You heard Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Now speaking on the same point of view program, Chief Executive Officer of the National Vaccine Institute, Dr. Soji Tete, described Dr. Omani-Boamah as a pillar to his family, a great leader to the nation, and a strategist for the NDC.
Are you guys going to be able to secure the vote? This was the fear. Many people took it for granted that we would win, but they were not sure whether we'll be able to secure the vote or not. The moment President Mahama appointed Dr. Omani-Boamah, I knew that this was not going to be business as usual, and I said so publicly. Omani put together this training manual and trained not less than 160,000 polling agents. And you should have seen them on D-Day. These were very well capacitated people who knew what the work was about, who asked the relevant questions, and who stood their ground. And today, that theory about NDC not being able to secure its votes is smashed, thanks in large part to the leadership of Dr. Omani-Boamah. So I think that for me, yes, his family has lost a pillar, the country has lost a great leader, and the NDC has lost a strategist, and it's very sad that we've lost all of these young people at the prime of their lives.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the National Vaccine Institute, Dr. Soji Tete. This is still the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting live from our studio in Adabraka, here in Accra. In the Volta region, we are live on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu and on VOV Radio 95.7 in Hoho. In the northern region, we're on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu and in the Upper West region, we're on Tunsung 97.3 FM in Wa. Still ahead on the City Prime News, top 10 finalists for the Literacy Challenge 2025 announced, making way for the grand finale this Saturday at the Alisa Hotel in Accra. Stay with us, we'll be back with details shortly.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025, a celebration of excellence in locally made goods and services. This year's exhibition brings together the very best that Ghana has to offer, from timeless traditional crafts to cutting-edge innovations. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, this is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. Join us in championing Ghanaian talent, creativity, and authenticity. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Afro Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle from EK Brand Consult.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Welcome back. This is the City Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Charles Osukumi. Let's now shift focus to education. Education think tank Africa Education Watch has warned that the current school feeding program, which allocates 2 Ghana cedis per child per day, is unsustainable and fails to provide adequate nutrition. The education policy think tank says the reliance on imported staples such as rice and tinned tomatoes drives up cost, making it difficult to serve balanced meals within the budget. Now, speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Executive Director Kofi Asare recommended a shift to a system where local farmers and suppliers provide produce supported by contributions from corporate bodies and community groups.
How is one expected to provide a meal balanced with carbs and then protein for 2 cedis? I mean, it's a miracle. And so we have continued to urge government that this SFP, this school feeding programs, were designed not to be procurement activities. They were actually designed to provide communities an opportunity to participate in the enhancing nutrition of their children while in school. But we have taken out the community participation element and made it a procurement activity. And so we always see it as 2 cedis buying food, instead of community bringing food stuff from their farms, etc., and then complementing it with 2 cedis. So a miracle happens in the basic schools.
Well, Kofi Asare also notes that the current education minister has reduced the quota for public school students in category A schools from 30% to 15%, and this year's BEC results will be the first real test of whether the change ensures fairer competition.
So the new minister has announced a change in policy, and I think the ministry has announced that it has halved that protocol allocation. So instead of giving 30% slots in category A schools to public junior school candidates, before the remaining 70 will be based on merit, the ministry has halved it to 15%. And so we are here to see how the halving will impact on equitable and fair access at this year's BEC.
So this year's BEC and admissions will be very critical to see how this policy...
Exactly.
You heard Kofi Asare, the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch. Again, the policy think tank further commended the Ghana Education Service for introducing measures to hold heads of senior high school accountable for examination malpractices in this year's West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASI. The new directive requires all senior high school heads to sign an undertaking as part of efforts to ensure a more practice-free WASI. In a statement, Edgeworth described the move as a decisive step that underscores the role of school leadership in safeguarding the integrity of the education system. Here are excerpts of that statement read by Citi News' Kennedy Chumesi.
Edgeworth welcomes the decision by the Ghana Education Service to require all heads of senior high schools to sign an undertaking as part of efforts to ensure a more practice-free WASI and to hold them accountable for examination malpractices occurring in their schools. This decisive step reinforces the importance of leadership in addressing one of the most persistent challenges undermining the credibility of Ghana's education system. While acknowledging the significance of this measure, Edgeworth emphasizes that its scope should be expanded beyond more practices reported by invigilators, supervisors, and inspectors at examination centers. It must also cover cases detected by the West African Examination Council after scripts have been marked.
You heard excerpts of a statement by education think tank Africa Education Watch and read by my colleague Kennedy Chumesi. Now, Citi FM and Channel One TV have announced the top 10 finalists for the Literacy Challenge 2025 in anticipation for an exciting grand finale. The nationwide competition, aimed at promoting reading, writing, and critical thinking among young learners, attracted participants from various schools and communities across the country. The finalists were selected after an aptitude test held on Saturday, August 9, which assessed participants' knowledge across multiple subjects, including practical science. Announcing the names on the Citi Breakfast Show, Head of Programs Production on Channel One TV, Apiokose Ramashong Abe, stated that a grand finale would be a live quiz on Saturday, August 16 at the Alisa Hotel in Accra.
We have Precious Yafi of the Glorious Child School Limited. Number 2, Eduji Kofi Yebo, Covenant Presby School, Jorolu, and that's the school of the reigning champion, Ama Santua Duncan, Bishop Bauer School, Matabio Koshi. Number 4, Adongo Naftali Atinga.
Atinga?
Yes. From the Abe Halperin School Limited in Tamale. Number 5, Ekia and Tria Kwating, Christ the King International School in the Greater Accra region. Yes, Christ the King. Number 6, Hubert Asiedu Lutrot, Wellspring School, Ablekuma. Number 7, Aviel Velda Bire, Covenant Presby School, Greater Accra region. Number 8, Lillian Nakisha Mwaku, Silicon Valley International School.
Silicon Valley.
Wow. And number 9, Karen Ama Isuman, Jira International. Last but definitely not the least, Richard Akrofi Majete, Southbridge Montessori School. So the next stage, level 3, it's a live quiz which will be broadcast live on Channel One TV this Saturday, the 16th of August. And we will be doing this from the Alisa Hotel.
Wonderful.
Live in Accra.
What time?
We'll start at 1 p.m.
You heard the head of programs production at Channel One TV, Apioko Seiram Ashong Abe, and host of the Citi Breakfast Show, Bernard Avle, announcing the top 10 finalists for this year's Literacy Challenge. Now, here is some refreshing news. The Akosombo Dam spillage turned life upside down for many children in Mepe, sweeping away their homes, their classrooms, and their sense of normalcy. Almost 2 years later, their story has taken a brighter turn, thanks to the Royal Daisy School in Accra. Citi News' Jubi Wafia Kenting has more in this report.
Daughter didn't come to our house at first, so we were there like some few hours, and daughter just appeared small. The next 5 minutes, our house were full of water, and it got to a point that the water reached my chest. And my mother told me to stop, so they went for a canoe and they went to pick the rest of our sisters.
Like Antoinette, many young people in Mepe and nearby communities had their lives shattered when the Akosombo Dam spillage on September 15, 2023 unleashed devastating floods. Nearly 39,000 people were displaced and hundreds of downstream communities lay underwater.
We were in the house around 10 and the water started coming. How it's coming is scary, so we have to run inside, pack our things and run away from that house. So we ran away from that place and we got in one of our uncle's house, and that place too, the next day the water came there.
When the flood waters washed away their schools, it seemed the end of their education was inevitable. But then came an unexpected lifeline, a full scholarship from the Echoes of Royal Daisy School in Accra.
They brought a form to us to come to Accra and come in school in Echoes of Royal Daisy. So when we heard it, we were very happy, we were very excited, yeah. So we came, the school was good, they were very good, the teachers, good ones, as compared to that place.
Life has changed, everything has changed. Since I came here, we've learned a lot of things.
I was proud because where I am, I was happy, I was sleeping at the roadside. So when I came here, I was very, very happy.
Bright Adam, one of the school's teachers, told Channel One News about the experience of guiding these young minds over the past years.
That it hasn't been an easy experience. Before they came here, due to where they were coming from, you could clearly see that academically they were a little bit low. So it wasn't easy. We took them what we had to take them through. And I can confidently say that the BC that they've written, we are expecting good grades from them.
The school's proprietress, Madame Frida Faith Mensah, also shared the personal inspiration behind the initiative.
I think in September, I heard the news on Channel 1. And so I decided to, help them because it was very pathetic. And so looking at the flood and then looking at the way things were destroyed, I decided to just give a help so that, there can be some growth in their life.
Still, the journey has not been without challenges.
It hasn't been easy, especially in academics. And so I realized that there were a lot of things they were missing. Coming from that hinterland to this place, in fact, there were a lot of things they didn't know. But understanding their plight, I was able to, take them, nurture them, educate them, and then by God's grace, they were able to write the BEC.
As the students graduate, Madame Mensah says she remains confident that they will thrive at the next stage of their academic journey.
We thank Channel 1, projecting this for us to see. And so it is our prayer that the students will come out very well.
Citi News' Ejubi Riafia Kenting with that report. Now to some politics. The National Democratic Congress says it will contest the upcoming Akwatia by-election on September 2. In a statement, Deputy National Communications Officer Godwin Akogan described the opposition NPP's decision to contest the Tamale Central by-election as a strategic move to avoid defeat and gain public sympathy ahead of the Akwatia polls. He says this would not be the first time a party has declined to participate in a by-election, citing the NDC's own decision to stay out of the Jusu race following the death of MP John Kuma. Akogan also conveyed condolences to the family of the late Ernest Kumi, whose passing prompted the by-election, and to the families of the 8 who died in the military helicopter crash. And finally, before we go, Melcom Ghana, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has donated medical refrigerators to 25 health facilities across the country. Beneficiaries include the Ga North Municipal Hospital, Ga West Municipal Hospital, Lekma Hospital, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, the Takwa Government Hospital, 37 Military Hospital, the rest are Tema General Hospital and the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, among others. Speaking at the presentation ceremony, Group General Manager Francis Sam says the gesture was Melcom's way of contributing to healthier communities.
So each year we choose different donations. The cost of an average refrigerator is about 5,000. So USD, yes. So the 70 you can times, and it's about 350 going forward. We have done other medical donations in the past, as I stated. Basically to keep our communities healthy, to ensure we have a healthy Ghanaian community that can patronize our shops and grow with us in prosperity.
Group General Manager of Melcom Ghana, Francis Sam, ending today's edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka here in Accra. For more news, log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for listening.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.
City 97.3. Accra.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana exhibition 2025, a celebration